Yo, my funky friends, Louder Monkey Boy here, welcoming you back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Skyward. So in the last part, we did the first part of the sand ship, and today we're going to be continuing with it. And by today, I mean I'm literally recording this about 10 seconds after. Usually I don't really, give a, intro/outro in the middle of, the dungeon, because I don't really know where I'm going to eventually break it up. But I'm just gonna assume that this is where I would break it up, since it seems like a pretty logical place. I mean, we're just starting, I'm going back into the sand ship, only this time everything is in the past, and before this we did everything in the present and everything on the deck, so it's a logical place. Now we have all of these guys everywhere, so let's just dispose of them. And now we're going to start getting to see the genius of the time shift stone mechanic, which I will show off in a second. So if you remember before, we couldn't get through here because there were all those little gate stuff that disappears in the past. So now we can, but now this is here, so we still can't get to the chest. But if you notice that there was a light right here, which means that there's actually a window right here, and there's little gates. So what do? You can actually take an arrow, and okay, am I not facing the right way? I think I was in the wrong direction. Maybe from here. Okay, let's try that again. You can take an arrow. Where is it, dude? Come on, you're killing the suspense. Okay, I see it. Basically, you can take an arrow from the inside through the gate, and you can shoot the time shift stone from inside. And basically, this is what I said. This is why I just think this dungeon is so genius, because it really makes you think about what you can do with the time shift stone. I just think it's a really clever way of basically having to use the one time shift stone that controls the entirety of the dungeon, and basically just using it in really unique and clever ways, in the sense that I mean right here we had to use it to get to the map, but we couldn't just have it all on or all off, because we had to basically change it from inside the dungeon to be able to get to it. Anyways, right now we're going to want to put it back in the path. You just have to put it in the present to get the to get the map. So let's just shoot it again. I think I hit the very side. I just think it's cool, once again, very unorthodox use of gates. Usually the gates would just mean you can't shoot through it, but here you can actually shoot between the rungs and interact with it really well. So right here are all of these rooms, which beforehand we couldn't get into, but this one right here is the one that was just blocked by the little gate of spikes and whatnot. Okay, back from the cut. Anyways, we are now in this room. This is the room that's right behind the door that we can't get into in the present, but we can get to in the past. So what do we do in here? Well, the first thing we do is there's a switch over here, and we have a box, so I'm just gonna assume that it's a switch that has to be always pressed, so that we can it has to always have something on it for it to be active. So let's just go ahead and do that. Let's move this big metal box over here. I think it's really convenient how there's always a metal box accompanying when you need to have a switch always pressed, and by doing that, that opens up those two windows, and those windows basically are another way to get back up to the deck. And why is that helpful? Well, as you can see right here, there's electricity, so we can't get through here in the past, but we can't even get into this room in the present because the little gate is blocking it. But what we can do is we can come into here. Is this the one that we even want to be in? I think this is right. Okay, one of these. Wait, is it okay? Is there only one of these little openings? Maybe this one is the better one. Okay. Okay, here. Wait, nope. Okay, that's not what we want to do. Wait, what do I want to do? Oh, okay, well, what we want to do next is we just want to get back to the deck. That's what I have to do. Alright, and we are back at the deck. I'll probably just be cutting out a lot of the maneuvering around this dungeon. One flaw I do have about this dungeon is that it's very linear, in the sense that in order to basically get back to the deck, it does sort of take a while because you have to run through everything. But anyways, what we want to do is we want to put it back in the present, but then we want to, okay, where is it? Somewhere on one of these sides is something that we're gonna have. Okay, is it, okay, here it is. It's okay, it's up there, so we have to, okay, I see what we have to do. So we have to put this back in the, once again, you just really have to be changing it between past and present a lot. Alright, so we want to put it back in the past. Then, now that's in the past, I can climb up this ladder up here to get up to to this area. Then we're gonna want it. Then we're gonna want to put it back in the present, and let me shoot it like this. Okay, got it. And by doing that, now it's in the present. And if you remember, we opened up those little windows before, and there was this like little, I guess, like lifeboat or whatever. I think that's what this is. This would be like a lifeboat, like in case this ship sinks, so that all like the crew members can escape and whatnot. But anyways, by doing this, we can actually lower it and raise it by shooting the eye, and we lower it basically directly to the window. And this is the room that we just were in, where we pushed the blocks. And now this door we can get through because it's the present, so there's no electricity. And now we have one of these things, which in these things only work in the present. I mean, those things only work in the past. So now that we're in this room, okay, get rid of all the keys first. Now we have to shoot the time shift stone again from this room, which we can get to because there's a gate, and that should do it. And now this room, now we're in this room in the present, and now we can activate this generator, and okay, there we go. And yeah, this sort of gets a little complicated when you stop to think about it, because you're just going between past and the present constantly. It's obviously something that's a lot easier to explain with visuals as opposed to purely with like dialogue. I mean, it would be hard to like I mean, what if like somebody tried to do like a walkthrough only trying to talk it through? That would be like so complicated. Just be like, all right, well, you go in this room, but then you have to change it to the past. Then you have to change it back to the present, so that you can. Then you have to go to the deck so you can raise the ship down, and then you can get to this room. And it'd just be like, it would be so hard to explain. But luckily, we don't have to worry about that, because I have visuals for you guys. And that's basically this whole side, and that's one of the sides that has a generator. Basically, if you don't know what we're trying to activate 2 generator switches that in conjunction can open up the well, we'll be able to do something with that in a little bit. Anyways, right through there you see there's an ice switch, but there's a propeller going, but the propeller is not spinning when it's the present, because the propeller, I guess, doesn't work. But anyways, we put it back in the present, and now we can shoot an arrow right through the propeller hole and hit the... I'm not sure if you could, like, time it perfectly so that you can shoot the arrow, like, while this thing is spinning, but I don't think that's actually possible, because I believe I have tried it before, and it just doesn't really work too well. And anyways, now we're in this room, but it is the present, where we cannot interact with the little generator. So what do? Well, first things first, we want to move this box out of the way, because it's blocking up this propeller right here. You guys can see. And what we want to do with that is, how do I want to do this? Okay, I believe I want to step on this switch right here, and that switch opens up the little gate over there. And if we get off this, the gate does go back behind, so we have to keep on stepping on this, and we have to basically shoot an arrow through the propeller, but we also have to push this box out of the way so that we can actually shoot. And I missed. I hit like the side of the propeller. Okay, dude, can you like hit it, please? There we go. And I have to say, wow, Link is a ridiculously good archer, isn't he? I mean, he's like stepping on a switch through a propeller into like an eyeball, and it's just like, wow, Link has some mad skills, don't you think? Anyways, that opened up the other door, and now we can go into this door, but I am pretty sure that this door requires us to be in the past so we can interact with it, because there's another one of those generators in here, right? Yep. And now it is the past, so first let's take out this Technoblend. Did I really time that wrong? Well, that's kind of embarrassing, I guess. There we go. Now he's dead. He just one. Seriously, I'm just getting like, I'm just getting these items all over the place. Whatever. Anyways, and now that's in the past, we can interact with the generator if Link wants to interact with it. Well, and turn that, and now we have activated both generators. There's one generator in like both of these like 2 side rooms, and now that both the generators have been opened, what can we do with that? Well, I'll show you what we can do with that. Strong vibrations again. Difficult to accurately assess. Yeah, hurrying to the crew in the brig. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. So now what we have to do is we have to get down to where the crew are in the brig. I think it's like a name for like a ship's jail or whatnot. But to do that, what we want to do is we want to come into this room. Wait, is it this room or the... Okay, no, it's the adjacent room. It's the room that you can use to get between like the deck and like using like the little lifeboat. And when we come in here, if you notice that there were these two windows, one of them leads to the lifeboat, but the other one leads to, there's like a ladder, and we can use the ladder, and we actually can climb down. And down here, what is down here? Well, right through here is the there's like, I'm not even sure what this place is called. I guess it's like the mechanics of the ship or whatnot. Basically, we needed to hit both of those generators so that we could do this whole section. And I'll show you why. You like saw those like two little cutscenes every time you hit a generator of like certain sections now moving. And basically both of those sections were in here. So right here, if we come down, you'll see that there are these things that are moving. Now, if you do not hit the generator, this thing will just be stationary, and it'll be basically like this, and you won't be able to get past. But once you hit the generator, it'll basically be in motion, and now you can basically use it. Now that it's in motion, you can basically dodge underneath them, and you can get through it. And I think the first generator that we hit controls this room, and the second one will control a room in a little bit. Right here, we want to just take out our whip, and we can whip. We can. Come on, Link. I don't know why this sometimes works and it sometimes doesn't. Okay, there we go. We can come over there. First thing we want to do is we want to come like this, and we want to rapidly swing back and forth. You kind of have to get like a good swing to get up here. Okay, there we go. And I'm not even sure if I've shown off this room yet. You might have like seen it through a window or something, but in this room, you may notice that there is a ton of treasure chests. I'm not even sure what's on the other side of this. I don't think I pointed this out. Okay, it's like adjacent to the boss key door. That's where it is. I don't think I showed this. I don't think I mentioned that there were a ton of treasure chests, but you probably saw and you probably wondered how to get to it. Anyway, this is how you get to it. Just a bunch of treasures and rupees, most likely. Alright, second treasure chest has 100 rupees. Third treasure chest has an evil crystal. Fourth treasure chest has another 100 rupees. And fifth treasure chest has another monster horn. I just decided to cut out the whole opening the treasure chest again, because I mean that was just 5 cutscenes in a row, and I figured that would be better. Anyways, that's just for fun. But to actually progress, we want to grab onto this again. Or actually, I might be able to jump it. Can I like just jump over there? I think I can. So you can just jump over here, and now we can. Okay, that was a bad idea. I should have just ran through that. My bad. At least Link getting crushed doesn't kill him all the way. So anyway, right here, all of these things would be always down if we hadn't hit the second generator. And by doing that, we can come through this. Right here, what we want to do is we actually want to use this, and we can actually like jump on top of this generator if we come like this. And we want to do that, and I'll show you why. Because we have to get to the top way over here, and we have to basically climb on all of these. I guess they're supposed to be like pistons or something. Okay, I guess I can't be fancy with the whip. I guess like the ceiling was too low or something. Anyways, this door is basically back to the beginning. That's just a little shortcut so that you don't have to go through all of like the deadly pistons again. Anyways, we can come through here, and this crawl space leads to the brig, the jail, which is, as I said, this is the room where all of those like little symbols were on the floor that allowed us to open up the gears, and we can open up this switch, and here we are in the room with all the symbols on the ground. And how'd you get in here? Because I'm Link. I'm the hero of the goddess, and I'm awesome. Anyways, came on board to find Hero's Frame. So now we basically saved all of the crew, so that's pretty sweet. And basically, he gives you a small key, which we need. I think we remember seeing another door with a small key, which is that's the door that is on the upper level of the deck. And now all of the robots now leave, because I guess that makes sense. I mean, who would want to just stay in a jail surrounded by a bunch of enemies? Leave on your own. Yep, I can definitely handle it. Now, if you're wondering why we couldn't just get here initially, just go in through the way we came. I mean, we've already been in this room. We were in here in the present because we had to find all the symbols. If we come over here, this door is actually blocked by electricity, so we can't do that. You know what? Just because I really hate Technoblins, and I think that the bow is fun, let's just shoot them. This is what you guys get for imprisoning a bunch of helpless crew members. Get over here. That's right. Gotcha. Yeah, that's what I thought. You didn't think I would do it, did you? Alright, good, they're all dead. Too bad I can't get the heart, but whatever. To get out, you just have to come back in the way you came. You can't just, like, open up the, little electricity, which is... You can't, like, open up that little electric gate, which is kind of a shame, but... Oh well, at least we hit the, switch, so we can just come back through like this, and we do not have to worry about dealing with all of the pistons again. I'm not even sure if it's possible to get back the way we came. It might be, but I'm not totally sure. And here we are, back over here. So I have to say, for those of you who haven't, like, played this game before, is this, like, getting confusing? Because it probably is. I mean, this dungeon is pretty confusing, like, the first time playing through. I definitely say it's probably the hardest dungeon in this whole game, like, in just in terms of, like, puzzle-wise. I mean, the enemies aren't that bad. You're not at a very high likeliness of dying, but, okay, apparently there's an amber relic here for literally no reason. I guess I should get, since I don't actually have any amber rocks. But, like, in terms of puzzle-wise and just trying to figure out what you're supposed to do, this is definitely the hardest dungeon. It's probably one of, like, the most puzzling dungeons in the whole series, but luckily I've played it enough times to know exactly what I'm doing. But I will say the first time playing, I got very, very, very lost many, many times. But hopefully this guide will make things a lot easier. Anyways, taking the lifeboat up allows us to get to this section a lot quicker, and now that we have the key, we can open up this door,